All right, y'all. So what's going on? This your girl Tiffany. I'm here live in effect. So I'm currently at work, but so I'm gonna have my camera off, you know what I'm saying, because I'm at work right now. But I want to come on here and real quick and give my synopsis on the debate that had took place with Lord Banu and I think the gentleman name is A1 on Paradigm Shift TV. So the whole debate was regard to about the black culture and do black people have a culture here in America? Okay. So I think both parties gave their point of view and they did a great job. So I think they did a great job. I think both parties gave their point of view. But I think A1 came with a lot of information, great information at that. But the other young man, Lord Banu, he was trying to really explain his position, but he just wasn't able to really articulate his point all the way. So it was like it sounded like he was going in circles, but I really understood where he was coming from when he said that it's not that black people don't have a culture, because obviously there is a culture that we subscribe to here in America, which happens to be a Western culture. Yeah, that's what we subscribe to. But at the same time, we don't have, and I think what he was trying to get at is basically we don't have a dominant culture in this country. We have what's called a subculture. We don't have a dominant culture only because when our ancestors came here or were brought here to this country, a lot of it was stripped away from them. And they only could practice whatever was left of them and incorporate into this Western ideology. That was the only thing they were able to do. Outside of that, there was no dominant culture for them because, again, when you're under slavery, you know what I mean, or if you under any country that's predominantly ran by someone that does not look anything like you or come from another culture, you're going to pretty much subscribe to it. All right, you're going to pretty much subscribe to their culture because that's what system you fall under. All right, so it wasn't a place for our ancestors to actually have a predominant culture. Now, what we have is what I call a subculture here in America. So, and within that subculture, there is another culture. Okay, so especially when you in the South, you're gonna find that there's a lot of, there's a lot of African incorporated practices here in the South. But we do not have a dominant culture. We do not have that culture where we can really stand on the foundation that really represent us as far as like identity wise. Okay. I mean, not just identity, but also, political. All right. So when we talk about politics, right, one of the most important things when it comes to politics is to have cultural values and social values. If there is lack of cultural values and lack of social values, then there will be lack of politics. Because what do we really have to represent? Yeah, you can sit here and talk about we have all the black mayors, right? The first black mayors in our cities, etc. But at the same time, that's not really good enough. Yeah, you can sit here and talk about the fact that most black people vote Democrat, but guess what? The Democrat Party did not start by black people. Neither did the Republican Party start by black people. So again, we subscribe to those political parties because we was looking at them as a form of representation. And what people don't know is that a lot of black people, especially during and after slavery, they subscribed to the Republican Party because black folks could not become Democrats until later on down the future. So later on in the future, that's when more and more black people started to subscribe to the Democratic Party. Excuse me. But here's the point. The point is that we don't have a strong, solid foundation, and what you see is a lot of discombobulation that's going on within the black community. And I'm not saying that every culture does not have its discombobulation, because obviously there is, but when you look at the black community, especially here in America, it is so much discombobulation. And it's almost like people just want to capitalize off of black oppression, black plight. Again, it's like people want to capitalize off of black plight. People want to capitalize off of what what our ancestors have created instead of trying to keep it together. And I can only say that about a good maybe 10% or less than 10% of black people are actually trying to preserve and trying to protect the cultural legacy of our ancestors. You got black people that's trying to preserve the land which our ancestors once worked on, as far as the plantation, uh, the field, etc. You can't even have too many black people to actually protect their grandmother land or their grandfather land. You know what I'm saying? You got people that be quick to sell it. So it's only part about less than 10% of black folks who's actually trying to preserve the legacy of their ancestors, whereas the rest are just riding the fence. And I hate to say that, but that's just what it is. So one thing I could say about Lord Banu, in the beginning, he talked about Will Smith, right, on Fresh Prince of Bel Air, when he came to school and they have a uniform code where everybody's supposed to dress up and whatnot. He was at a private school. So he would wear his jacket inside out as a way to show rebellion, as a way to stand out. Okay. So again, we tried to, and also the brother mentioned how we just pretty much added on to what the culture that's been given to us. And pretty much we did. We had to create something around it so we can be able to fit in. We had to kind of come up with the concept of creating an identity under the patriarchal system, white patriarchal system. Um, Pretty much create a what's the term that I'm looking for? That was our way to try to assimilate. It's another one, acculturate. That's the term, acculturate. So you have what it is, acculturation taking place. So and that I think that's what the brother was trying to get at, the acculturation. So I understood, but people felt like he was maybe dancing around or he was just using a lot of straw man. But he was trying to get to a point he just was not able to articulate that. So I understood exactly what Lord Banu was trying to say, right? We pretty much had to acculturate and to assimilate into a society which is not of our ancestors. Give me one moment. Hey y'all, I'll be right back. It's gonna take a few minutes. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back, you guys. So I'm gonna make this real quick. All right, because I gotta get back to doing what I was doing. So, but anyways, yeah, we don't. It's pretty hard to find your place here in a place like America, okay? Because when you deal with a dominant society or a dominant culture, you're looking to be accepted. You're looking for acceptance. You're looking for validation. You're looking for politics of respectability. So imagine just your ancestor coming from another land where they had a totally different culture, a different environment, but when they go into another place, they cannot fully practice it because the laws, the stipulation, and the circumstances they were dealing with. And we shouldn't continuously have this debate about whether we got black culture or not. If people really actually study and really know what type of society you live in, you that would be your answer right there. And I heard somebody, I think one of the guys said something about gold teeth. He was saying something like he was selling gold or gold teeth or something. He said gold teeth is a form of social behavior. Okay, in what sense is it a form of social behavior? What way? How? How is that social behavior? And what do you mean by that? So I was a little confused when the other gentleman said gold teeth is a form of social behavior. What way do you mean? Because I don't understand it. Shout out to the Buffalo Soulstress. She said assimilation and coexistence. Absolutely, yes. That's what we looking to be coexist, to be recognized for our humanity. Yes. But yeah, getting back to the gentleman, when he said something about gold teeth being a social behavior, I didn't understand that. I don't think he articulated that. But yes, I again I understood the position of where Lord Banu was coming from or where he was going. So it's not that our ancestors never tried to create a culture or never did anything because they did the best they could. But again, knowing that we are considered as the so-called minorities, right? We would not have the dominant culture. So we're not going to be dominant in this country or any Western country because unless you have a black majority population, and even with that, there's a lot of corruption going on within the black majority population when you go to other places because they trying to mimic those in the Western society. But but yeah, that's the most important thing that we got to understand. When you have a culture, you have to have morals, principle, and values. And what we have is a lot of discombobulation. And I'm talking about somebody myself who was born here in America. And I'm not just pulling this out the ass. I'm just telling you from what I know as a black person born here in America. Okay. We have a lot of discombobulation. We have a lot of so-called code that's really messing us up as a people. So again, when you have a coach, you got to have moral values and principles. That's the most important thing, not just the dance, not just the type of music you listen to or how you dress, but where about the morals? Where's the principle? Where are the values at? And in order to be really political, you got to have cultural values and social values. Where are the cultural and social values at? And how do you go about protecting those principles that you have? And also another gentleman mentioned about Black TV, for example, making profit off of hip hop. well, with the Jewish community making profit off of the hip hop culture. And that's a fact. Because again, nobody is protecting that. Nobody is preserving it or saying, hey, this is our stamp, this is what we created, etc. You know what I'm saying? We allow, when I say we, our people allow others to come in and share some of the cultural ideology, but not even thinking, well, what is their whole purpose? Not even thinking, realize that they're gonna come and infiltrate and profit off of what has been created within the Black community. So you see that all that money that. All right. So, anyways, you guys, let me go ahead and get up off of here. Um, I can't. I don't know what else I don't know what I wanted to say because I'm in between doing stuff or whatnot. But I just wanted to take the time to get on here and say something. I forgot what I was going to say, but anyways, but yeah, that's my whole synopsis. That's my whole thought on this. And I hope you guys got something out of it. Until then, y'all have a good one. Peace and power and elevation be to all of you. This your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off.